Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to be continuing our talk on non-numeric data types. Previous video we did the char, and you remember that was the, if you were following along, then you will know that this is the single character. You know, when we're trying to store just a single character, or when we were looking at the different symbols that are available in the table, the Unicode table, sorry. So we have a single character data type. In order to get, a single value, you can, do it with the Unicode code that is given. You can do it with single let's make this number 2. You can do it with just the regular value that, the numeric value that is represented on the Unicode table as well. We can also store the single, we'll just call this one single, and you can also store just a single keyboard stroke or character from the keyboard, right? And that's typically how we would store non-numeric or alphanumeric letters, symbols. You can store, numbers in here as well as characters. You can't do math against these, though. They don't represent the same thing, right? So as we get into now, today we're going to talk about the string. The string is kind of the go-to for the multi-characters, multi-symbols, adding kind of words and sentences. And a string is kind of not the same as all the rest that we were working with. And we'll just initialize this, create it. To do so, you type string. Be sure to have the uppercase S here. We'll give it a name. We'll just call this our, a message or a sentence. You can name it whatever you wish. It doesn't matter. Again, just so you know to refer back to it and know what, that variable is referring to. And we'll type in here, this is a string of characters. And essentially what a string is kind of the characters strung together to form words and sentences in different little, paragraphs. You can have paragraph, you can do quite a bit. It holds quite a bit. So what we can do with the string, and now it's a beast all on its own. Okay, it's technically not really a data type per se. It's more of a reference type. And when we did those other values, remember when we brought in the scanner, right? When we use a file from somewhere else, we have to import it to our file to be able to use it. We have this scanner, right? We come down here, we create that scanner. We say scanner, we name it input, and then we make it equal to a new scanner, kind of get it primed up, and we put our system.in. That gets it all ready for us to be using it, right? And remember, in order for us to access all the functionality that is built in to this scanner, we had to, take the input, and down here we'll just do that. We go input and put the period, and you see how we get all this, a list of functionality that comes with it, right? So you have all the, we did the next int, we've used next to get the next input of a decimal place or a number. There's a lot more added things that come with the scanner that we haven't really talked about, but nonetheless the same thing kind of works with that string. And now you notice if I take the word sentence and I put a period, a whole host of things are going to pop up here. these are all the methods, or better said, this is all the functionality that you have available in this string variable or this string type, okay? And I just trying to break it to its simplest form. There's a bunch of like very confusing terminology I can use at this point, like the string class has a bunch of methods, and you initialize the object, and I find that just kind of leaves you in the dust as to what the true, it just has a bunch of functionality. Here's all the stuff you can do and use it with. It's equals, and it gives you a little line here, compares this string to a specified object. Result is true if only the argument is not null and is a string. So you can compare it to other strings or other things. You got chars, so it'll actually do some things with the string for you. Returns an int stream of char values from the sequence. It does a bunch of stuff, right? It tells you if it is a blank, it only has white spaces in it or not, if it's completely empty, if there's 0 values in it. And we'll work with all these, maybe not all of them, but we definitely will use quite a bit inside here. So for now, all we really need to know is the very basics of this string. And I just want to show you that, like, all these other ones, with int new num, or num1, we'll call it. I was going to say new num, but, the char, if we typed in this, we took the single down here, and we put single, and we put a period, nothing happens. Because there's nothing else to do with it. It's just a container to hold a value in. It's all it is like a bucket, and you put shit, or you put stuff in it, you know what I mean? I don't want to say anything derogatory. So num1, same thing, you can't do anything with it. It's just a bucket that holds a value. It holds something to do stuff later. They do have their differences, though. Again, a number, we have to declare it as a number so we can do math to it and different arithmetic to it. And the same thing as a string. So let's go and print some stuff out with this string. So system dot out dot print line, and we'll actually just print out the sentence. Right, so that's easy. It's all fine and dandy to do. We'll just run the program and see that it prints out this is a string of characters. Next thing we got available for this, and this is all we need to know for now. We can put a word in there. It doesn't have to be a full-on sentence. We'll say and we'll just leave it like that for now. We'll get to some more stuff later. We go string next sentence. Right, next sentence, and we go, we'll say and can piece right before E except after C. There we go, piece them together. Right, okay, or append them. I guess if that makes more sense, you can kind of like take them and put them on the end of each other, or we'll just say I don't even know how to spell that. Concatenate. That's a stupid word. We can append them together. Append them, something like that. I like piece them together, stick them together, add it to the end of the sentence. Concatenate, just another confusing term. Piece them together. But nonetheless, that's what we're doing, okay? So we can say sentence, and we can, the whole thing we were doing in lots of the videos is concatenate. We can add it, add the next sentence into it as well. There we go. I'll just run this and show you what's going to happen. I already know that it's going to be kind of a mess, but that's okay. So here we go. This is a string of characters, and we can piece them together. And we had the word there, but we didn't really format it properly. In order to make it proper, we should put the spaces in. They don't technically have to really be there. They can, if you want to put it here, you want to put it here. As long as you have them and you're aware that you do need to put it together this way. Just how it is, it doesn't put spaces in there for you. You have to, it only puts in what you tell it to. So, and this is a string of characters, and we can piece them together. Perfect. So that's one way of doing it. We talked also about shorthand operators, that when you were talking about the int, we did the result is plus equals, that type of thing. Well, this also works with the string type. So we're just going to take sentence now. And we'll leave this up here. Actually, I'll pull this back up. We'll just leave that there. We'll go underneath it so that we're now just taking the sentence value and we're manipulating it after we printed it out. And we'll go plus equals word. And then we can take a sentence again. We'll say plus equals our next underscore sentence. Okay. And now when we print out, up here we did all this, added here, but we already kind of did this over here. And if you're kind of jumping in midway through, I'm just going to explain what this is here. It's the same thing as if we were to type that, which is then, if you take that away, it's the exact same thing as typing this out. So it kind of says, I want to add whatever's on the left to the right. So it's kind of one way of looking at those shorthand operators. Now, with the shorthand operator here, though, that does not work. That does not work. The multiplication, division, those don't work. The plus sign, because it's a binary operator and it means concatenate as well as addition, it kind of works for that purpose. So just be aware you can't multiply words together or sentences or strings together. It's just kind of common sense in a way, right? So that's fine. We'll just run this, and now we can run sentence. And you'll notice we get the exact same output that we got up here. See, this is a string of characters, and we can piece them together, and it printed twice, right? So that's kind of the very basics of the string. There's a lot of extra functionality that does come with that string. We'll talk a lot more and use them more as we get more advanced topics, and we're starting to get into the actual, the main meat and potatoes of it. We got all of our storage containers all locked away now. We're getting the input from the users, so we're starting to build on our abilities here. We're starting to build tools, and our toolbox is starting to come together. So for now, that's what we'll leave it at, and I'd like to thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, if you have any ideas for future ideas, just leave it in the comment section below, and we'll see what we can do about addressing them. If you subscribe to, you like the channel, subscribe. We're going to put up a bunch more videos like this, different languages, different frameworks, techniques, We're going to try to make this all IT 100%. So, and if you're struggling still, make sure you let me know so I can kind of address and help you, or I can make the changes that are going to help. I don't want to be making videos that aren't helpful. They got to be doing something for somebody, so be sure to let me know what I need to work on. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in our next video.